run it.
Hey, mommy.
Yeah, look, they said that I couldn't do it, so I went and did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, you know I've been on a what? Mission. Go. Okay, let's get it. Got a little time on my hands like a wristwatch. I don't got time for the brakes and the pit stop. Race through the gridlock, take it like Chris Rock. Right to the chin, still win. Heavy metals like Slipknot. Got the driving, I got tunnel vision. I just hit my stride the way I run the business. I've been making paper like I'm Dunder Mifflin. See the end game, I got one division. Look, I just did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, you know I've been on a mission. Go. Okay, let's get it.
The stars of SnB gather for one night where nothing is left on the table. No points, no patience, just raw speed and bold moves. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Eliza Bethold alongside Matt Sisler for SnB's All-Star Race. Matt, it is going to be a fun night out there. How you doing?
Excited. This should be a lot of fun, like you said. Charlotte's one of my favorite tracks to go to, whether to race or just to watch. It's fast. The air, we're gonna see a lot of dirty air tonight. This should be quite interesting.
I agree. I absolutely think so. And we already see a lot of different lap times out here. We have Forts and Poston, which I can tell you a lot of drivers are saying. We were talking to them before, actually during practice, and a lot of people are saying Forts and Poston. That's who they think is going to win this Open. That or Austin Middy. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. But chat, I see you out there, Chronic, Crangus. I hope you guys are doing good. Let me know if you guys have a guess on who is going to win the Open. But here's how the Open is going to go. We're going to have a 30-lap race. This is after qualifying. They will have a chance to qualify. But it is 30-lap race. If a caution comes out, they will not count those caution laps. So technically this race could last a while, but yeah, I think it's going to be a really exciting one for sure. The top 8 drivers that cross the finish line will move on to the main with the drivers who have been locked in. The drivers that have been locked in are those that were playoff drivers from last season and those who have won this season. So we'll have a total of around 17 drivers moving on to the main, Matt.
I mean, that should be a good-sized field. It's definitely even smaller than what you get in officials usually for, like, C-Fixed, because that's usually about, that's trucks, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not familiar with iRacing lingo. That's about a 24, 25 vehicle field, so 17 will make for some, hopefully, good type racing among the best in Shake and Bake.
I agree. We have 20 seconds left before we go to qualifying. I've heard from drivers, some say that this track is getting loose on the long run. Some are saying that is pretty tight. So I think honestly it's just going to depend on how they drive it. And Matt, I've heard some of these drivers are kind of going down a gear in some of these corners. So that'll be interesting to see how these drivers take these corners and what they do with their car.
Yeah, that's not something I've heard of drivers doing, downshifting in the corner. I could see it maybe for qualifying, but like maybe later in the run, depending on how your car is behaving. Like if the car starts to get tight, you can downshift to get the car to turn more because you kick the revs up and the back end will step out a little bit. But I've never heard of like just over a run, especially at Charlotte. There's some where you could get away with it, but Charlotte's not usually one of the ones I would think.
Yeah, first time for me. I agree. We are out in qualifying, and Christopher Pugley's the first one out. We'll see how he does on his lap. We also have Andrew Sanford, a longtime SnB member. Jordan McGraw is also going out on track. All these drivers trying to get that best lap time to head into the Open to make the main. So I think it's going to be extremely close, but we have a little over half our drivers out currently.
And starting position, like it always is with the Gen 7s, it's going to matter. So I expect to see most, if not everybody, out there trying to get a lap in, because the further you can start up the field, the better your chances are.
All right, let's see once these guys start getting those lap times coming in here. But Fortson Poston was the fastest in practice, along with Austin Mitty. He was on the board for quite a while there. Andrew Sanford suddenly comes to a halt there. So not exactly sure what happened to him, but Travis Stroney, number 1 on the board. Ryan Robertson gonna jump that. He goes to number 1 with a 29.640. Nick Tarana, he moves to P3, 29.684. Jordan McGraw, he goes to the top, 29.5. So these times are incredibly close. But so far, the only one in the 5s is going to be Jordan McGraw for FTR.
Yep, and this is, and like the real life open, where we see a lot of guys have to try to race their way in that don't have wins, this is where we may see like unexpected drivers shine, or guys that, not just guys that haven't won yet, but the open is it's a wide open place for drivers to try to win a race that maybe haven't won or haven't had a good thing. And with it not being for points, strategy play, somebody could throw a Hail Mary at the wall and hope it sticks.
Yeah, I agree. And Independence Motorsports, I mean, they are looking very, very strong out there. That includes Ryan Robertson, Nick Tarana, Travis Stroney, and Fortson Poston. So an incredibly strong team out here. All of them are rookies in SnB, but I'll tell you what, they came in here with a ton of speed and a lot of talent. So I will not be surprised to see most of them, if not all, in the 8 that move on to the main.
Absolutely, and that's half our field, so that's the great thing about this. You don't have to win, you don't even have to be on the podium. It's just top half of the field advances to the All-Star race later on tonight, so that's great. If you can, because sometimes, like, if you're trying to fight your way into that top 3, you might make a move where, you put the car at risk and then you take yourself out. But if you're if you're running like 7th or 8th, and there's no real need to press unless you're under attack from behind.
That's so true. I mean, you want to be able to finish. As long as you can get in that top 8, you'll be golden. And this is going to be the first year that we do not have the popular vote. So that is something a little different. Along with the main, we are going to call a caution at the start of lap 40. So that's going to gather all the drivers back up. And this is the main. This is going to be the next race we're in. But they will have a mandatory caution at lap 40. So that will get them all bunched up and the action will start all over again. So we're in for a wild night. But take a look at Austin Mitty, 29.452. Fortson Poston, 29.476. Jordan McGraw holding out 3rd. Luke Allen in 4th. Ryan Robertson, he's going to round out your top 5 with a 29.633.
Just barely ahead of Travis Stroney, who's 11 1,000ths behind him in 6th. Then it's Andrew Sanford, Joe Turley, Nick Tarana, and Jose Ruiz rounding out the top 10 currently in qualifying.
Yeah, I think it's going to be incredibly close. We have Bridgman, he is 29.852. Christopher Pugley's 29.887. And Matthew Gale with a 29.947. And it looks like those that qualified, that's it for that. So we will be heading into the main, the open, I should say, in just a few seconds here. We'll get to the grid and get these guys moving to go to green.
Should be a good one. I mean, and that's and again, like I said, very nice thing that you guys are doing with 8 drivers getting in out of, I think we only have 13 drivers in the open, because I believe Joe Berg, Francis Hamilton, and Andrew Zapp all won races previously or were in the chase field last year. So, I mean, you really don't have to be even in the top half. You just have to be that 8th place guy when the checkers fall.
Absolutely. And I think this is the most that we've ever had that have moved on. Usually it's only like the top 2 to 3 drivers. So this is a good amount of drivers that move on. But here we go. We are going for the grid here. Austin Mitty on pole with a 29.452. Fortson Poston to his outside with a in that 41 machine. In row 2, we're going to have Jordan McGraw in the 34 with Luke Allen to his outside. Row 3 is going to be Ryan Robertson in that 2 machine with Travis Stroney in the 14. Row 4 is going to be Andrew Sanford in the 37 with Joseph Turley to his outside. And row 5 is going to be Nick Tarana in the 10 with Jose Ruiz to his outside.
Row 6 will have Philip Bridgman and Christopher Pugliese, and I believe all by himself on row 7 will be Matthew Gale, because I don't believe, again, like I said, I don't think Joe Berg, Francis Hamilton, or Andrew Zapfi are in the field, so that should be it for our All-Star Open.
Yeah, we're waiting for everyone to get out there on track. It looks like we're missing one car. He is currently there now, so these guys will get off and moving. We're getting ready to race for 30 laps. The cautions do not count, so let's hope they don't bring out too many, but man, I think it's going to be an incredibly tight race. I love Charlotte. I know you do too, Matt, so I'm excited to see what they can do out on track.
100%. 100% when it comes to this. Charlotte is one, like, you can have, like, your favorite racetracks, but not be good at them. But you can have, good, and then it's the vice versa where you can be good at tracks, but not necessarily like them. Looking at you, Loudon, for me, apparently. Like, somehow I somehow tend to do okay there, or better than I think. And yet, every time we go there, I look at it and I go, oh no. Because it's like, oh, I don't want to go to Loudon. But Charlotte is one of those few tracks on the sim where I really like to drive it, and I feel like I'm pretty good at it, or I can overachieve to what I normally do. So this should be a fun event.
I think so. Chad, let me know, who do you think is going to win? Matt, I got to ask you, who do you think is going to win as we head into the Open here?
I was hoping you weren't going to ask. I was sitting there like going, please don't ask.
You know I am.
No. I mean, we have Maelstrom Mitty at the front of the field in qualifying. Mm-hmm. Why not take him? He's got the speed. He's got the track position. If he can keep it clean, I like his chances.
Yeah, I got to take the guys on the front row here. Fortson Poston, incredibly fast. He's shown it over and over again this season. And Austin Mitty, I told him, I said, a win is coming for you. You've increased your speed. You have so much talent. I think he could also win. So we're about to find out, but here we go. Getting ready to go 30-lap racing here at Charlotte for the All-Star Race Open. These guys getting ready. Here we go. Side by side. They are off and running. Oh, and Crange says he thinks the 34. Do we have something? Oh my gosh.
Guys, Travis Stroney had an early problem with Jose Ruiz.
Coming into the box is the part that I'm mainly concerned about.
And what was that you said about the caution laps again? they don't.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Let's back that up. That's man, Travis Stroney. Let's take a look here.
Well, he tries to go, and I think the 7 just didn't go as quick as he thought he was, and then Jose was just trying to get up to speed, and I don't know if he got clipped or if he lifted and got turned, but he just ends up facing the wrong way.
Yeah, he makes contact with his rear bumper there, and just nowhere for them to go. Accordion effect, and that is not how you want to start the race. That is for sure. Just very unfortunate. And Jose, being an FTR member there, he's had a lot of non-luck on his side. So just really unfortunate to see.
Yeah, I mean, definitely unfortunate, but luckily he has time, and that is one good thing about the cautions not counting. Technically, he can come down pit road if he chooses to, stay there until they get the 1 to green, and unlike normally where you would go a few laps down to take that repair, this won't count because he'll be able to come right back out and be right back on the lead lap with everyone else. So he can actually get more damage fixed than under a normal caution flag.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's definitely going to need that. Travis Stroney does have a lot of right front damage from that start. And let's take a look, see if Jose, what his car is looking like. He doesn't look like nearly as bad as Travis, but both of these drivers definitely have some damage.
Yeah, and they'll probably need at least another caution to get their cars back up to full fighting strength. Now, obviously, we hope we don't see that, but we could very easily see a few more yellows come out. And if that would happen, then Travis and Jose would probably be in a spot to get the cars fully repaired.
We'll see what happens here. Both drivers still on pit lane. Austin Mitty going to lead us back to green. Fortson Poston to his outside. Jordan McGraw in that 34 machine going to be P3. Luke Allen 4th. And Ryan Robertson going to be your top 5.
Gotta shout out Jordan McGraw for bringing out the chrome car for this. That looks really nice tonight.
No, that's what I told him. He's been working on those paints and said he's been struggling with trying to get it to show up. And I know he was happy that it was able to show up tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't showing up for me, but I looked at the broadcast and I went, wait, why is that different? And quickly had to restart trading paints. Like, okay, that works. It's a sharp looking race car.
Yeah.
Looks like Travis Stroney coming back off pit lane here. He'll try to catch the field. And Jose is still on pit road, taking a little bit of damage repair. But as long as he gets out and catches the tail of the field before they come back around, we are 1 to green. But as long as he can get out, he's going to be on the lead lap. So, again, an advantage of the cautions not counting.
For sure. I think that Travis might struggle a little bit here, though. He's still got a lot of damage on that machine. So let's see how it works out for him. But he'll definitely have another opportunity to get that machine repaired. There's 30 laps for this race. Cautions do not count, so that they will not bypass those laps in a normal caution.
Yeah, and Jose rolling out of his box now. I was just keeping an eye on him, and he's still in it. We still have, and just keep the car rolling tonight as well. Knowing how chaotic and open can be, if you can just keep your car rolling, you might still make it, just depending on the chaos factor.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's an open and things could get crazy. Heck, they've already gotten crazy. Lap 1. So, yes, the top 8 will move on. We'll see what happens here. So more than half the field will move on. These guys hopefully on the ready. Here we go. Back to green. Austin Mitty with a nice start as it is on his go. Fortson Poston in second. And we're going to have Luke Allen. He's going to be top 3.
Yep, and the front 2 getting a bit of an advantage, breaking away to single file while McGraw and Luke Allen go side by side for P3. Allen with the run up high. Now he takes it to the bottom, trying to go inside of Fortson Poston, coming off of turn 4.
On board with Nick Tarana. You can see he's currently sitting P8. He's going to be on the outside. He's got the 37 right in front of him. Single file line for those front few as they're trying to get that clean air, trying to find their way around the track. We do have a car up high, trying to get that clean air, I tell you.
It's so important, especially at these intermediates with this Gen 7 package. You need clean air as soon as you start to creep over really about 100 miles an hour at any sort of track, not just oval, even on the road courses. If you're doing over 100 something, coming up the S's at the Glen for example, these cars are so aero dependent that if you're stuck behind somebody for a few tenths, you're gonna lose so much grip, so much downforce. So it's very critical to get in clean air.
Yeah, it is very, very tough to be in that dirty air and try to have that momentum take you anywhere. Austin Mitty is in the prime spot, obviously. He's out front, clean air, and man, that speed, he's just got so much speed this season. I will not be surprised to see him come home with a win for this Open. I know he's going to move on. There's just no way unless something drastic happens, and I do not want to give him the Booth curse, but he's looking very strong tonight.
And Austin, by the way, if it does happen, for just to point that out, she said it, not me.
I'm really hoping I did.
But you are right. Austin has had phenomenal speed and arguably could have had at least one win already this season if things played out right. The same goes for our second place runner of Fortson Poston. Both have had front-running speed, but have one reason or another not quite gotten their win, but their time is coming. They are getting there.
Absolutely. You can see these guys really trying to separate, run different lines, trying to get that clean air. We've talked about it repeatedly. They are going to have to save a little bit of tire. I mean, in 30 laps, you cannot just overdrive it. You will suffer in the long run, but take a look. Fortson Poston going to the inside underneath Austin Mitty. This is for the lead here in the open. We're on lap 7 of 30. We'll see what they can do, but Fortson really trying to get that momentum going. Here he goes into the lead. He's gotten it.
Yeah, and he gets in front of him, cleared him off the corner. I was wondering if Austin was going to be able to roll that top and come back at him, but nope. Fortson gets the nose of his Mustang into clear air. And really, if you're in the front 2 or 3, you don't even really need to fight all that hard. Like, I know these guys want to win. There's no doubt you want to win races, but you don't want to do what Jimmy Johnson did at the Roval and take what could be a rate, could be just you make the next round of whatever it is and miss. Like, if you're in the top 3-4 cars and you're not in a position where you're going to fall back outside the top 8, you could just take it easy and just count on the fact that, okay, I'm in the field for the All-Star race.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. And I'm on board with Jordan McGraw, and I just heard him downshift in turn 1 and 2, so we already have some downshifters here. He's right behind Ryan Robertson of Independence Motorsports, and Austin Mitty up in second, Fortson Poston in first, and you can hear these guys kind of going very gentle around the corners in 3 and 4. Some are saying they're loose, some are saying they're tight, so I'm kind of curious who's what in these cars. But Yoko, that's great. I'm glad that he watches these back. I've told him myself. He's got a lot of speed. You can just see his talent just skyrocket out here. And if you're helping him, that's amazing. So glad to see it. That's awesome for him. Day, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate it. Hope you are doing well, sir. We'll see you out here next week. He'll be starting as a driver next week.
No, that's awesome. From speaking to my fellow Nitro driver, Matthew Gale, who's in this race, I believe he's currently in 9th position, he said that he was tight in turn 4, so that's where I would expect drivers to downshift, as I see Ryan Robertson. I'm sitting on board with him right now on my screen, downshifting to 4th gear, and maybe he did that because the previous lap he tried to stay in 5th behind Austin Mitty, and he got up and he hit the wall on exit. So we're gonna have to see. I think, like, if you're in dirty air, turn 4 already being a bit of a tricky corner to exit, could get interesting if you're close enough behind somebody to really have that dirty air issue.
Absolutely. A nice little battle that was brewing between the 2 and the 34. The 34 trying to go down low but did not have enough momentum. The 2 was able to hold him off, so they're in a single file line. Lap 13 of 30. Still a ton of racing left. Fortson, man, another one. Just so incredibly strong. This is his first season racing for SnB. He is technically an SnB rookie for Independence Motorsport out here, but he's just shown so much speed and potential. I'm waiting for him to get his win. So I'm telling you, my money on winning the Open tonight is that 41 or the 77 of Austin Mitty.
Hedging your bets, are you? Okay. I didn't know I could pick 2 people.
I usually do. I kind of cheat. It's all good.
I would have picked both of the front runners if I'd known, but you put me on the spot. I was like, okay, pick one. Wait a minute.
I know. What are you gonna do?
I mean, both of them have the speed to be, like, potentially race winning this season. We have Ryan Robertson as well running 3rd. He also has had some looks at wins, not quite gotten there, not quite had the luck, but if he can put it all together, he's another one that could get a win before the season's out.
Absolutely. And then you got Jordan McGraw, P4, Joseph Turley, he's going to be in 5th, Andrew Sanford in 6th. We're going to have Luke Allen in 7th, Nick Tirana 8th, Matthew Gale 9th, and Christopher Pugliese, he's going to round out your top 10.
Yeah, he just got around Philip Bridgman, who's 11th. Last of the health completely damage-free cars out there. We still have Jose Ruiz and Travis Stroney orbiting they're hoping for a caution to come back down and get some more damage fixed. Now everybody else is kind of hoping. I think everybody in that top 8, they're just hoping. Nope, we want it green, because right now they're doing the smart thing. Nobody's really going after like anybody for position. They're all kind of just like, okay, we're all in, we're good, we don't have to risk anything. Like the cars from 9th on back are probably hoping for at least a caution to have a chance.
I agree. We're on lap 17, though. It is winding down. We had a first lap mishap, which pulled out a caution here, but since then it has been very, very clean. I think elbows will be out, though, in these final few laps, because as you said, 9th on back, it's going to start to get a little crazy back there. Drivers are going to start to really pull at each other to try to, get those positions. But Matthew Gale, he's pretty separated between Christopher Pugliese and Philip Bridgman, who I saw hit the wall pretty hard on that right side a couple of laps ago. So we'll see how that damage is affecting him.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that it took Gale that long to get around the 1 and the 24, because he looks to be almost matching the speed of the cars in front. He's either matching or just losing, and if he had been clear of them, he probably could have been right on the tail of Travis Stroney for that final transfer position. But right now, he's about a second or so off. He's almost 2 seconds off, and like that's going to be hard to make up in 12 laps.
Our top several drivers still going at it. We're going to have Joseph Turley and Ryan Robertson going at it for P3 here. You can see these cars on top of each other. Ryan Robertson going to take it low in that 2 machine, try to go underneath Turley, but these cars just going back and forth, trying to find that clean air and a spot to take that machine to get third. But man, it is so incredibly tight. Meanwhile, Forts and Poston, take a look at who is closing that gap.
Yep, Austin Mitty right back into the fight. He's running that high side. Fortson trying to run the Harvick line around here and just stay on the bottom, stay low. And that is a good way to do it, but if Mitty has the tires left, that is going to open a door for him, although now Fortson, I think, did a little bit of mirror driving into turn 1. He took it in right in front of that 77 and kept the dirty air on him.
Going into 4th and going back on the straight. Back into 5th gear, and in 3rd and 4th, he goes back into 4th. So these guys are definitely downshifting, at least later in the race. We saw a couple of drivers doing it earlier, but he looks like he's just trying to chill right now, trying to save those tires and save all he can for those final few laps to try to make a move. He is right on his rear bumper, which is where you want to be. You want to just try to take it easy. Just try not to let that air affect you. So that's the biggest thing he's got to worry about at this moment.
Indeed. And the other thing Mitty's got to be careful about, you want to be close. You don't want to maybe get too close, because as we've seen with these cars, although he's going for the lead, but the problem is if he got up on his bumper, he could take the air off, and when you do that, it's very, very easy to send the car around in front of you around. But he's got the nose ahead out of turn 2.
Man, side by side, Fortson, he's going to have a nose out, Mitty underneath, but that high side momentum, it'll get you a lot. But here we go, Mitty underneath. You ride that line. It is so beautiful making it around there. But going back on the backstretch, and actually through the trial, what am I talking about? But these guys so incredibly close. Now Austin has it, and Fortson takes a little touch to the wall, but he is still moving that.
Yep, and using that momentum up high, it's so frustrating if you're a driver on the bottom. It used to only really work when we had the Gen 6 cars a few years ago, that it would only really work at like these tracks like Vegas, like Charlotte, where you have a mile and a half and you could just stick on somebody's outside and make them burn their stuff up. But nice job by Mitty to get through. Maybe Fortson burned up his stuff trying to pull away. We'll see if Fortson can save it up and make a late run to get back at him. Meanwhile, we got Jordan McGraw and Joseph Turley fighting over P4 back there.
Yeah, this little group right here has been just on top of each other, and I think it'll change quite a few times before this race is over. But man, oh man, you just hope it doesn't end in a wreck. As FTR owner, that 34 car, I want to see both my drivers make it in and come home in one piece. And they look like they're having a heck of a fun time out there. I'm a little jealous because Charlotte, it is one of my favorite tracks.
It's just it's such an easy track to get to learn, but it's so difficult to master because you feel like you're doing everything right, and then you'll go out and race guys who have like a Tom Flitcroft or a Jimmy Cocker, who we'll see later, and then you're left sitting there scratching your head going, what am I doing wrong? I thought I was doing it right. What am I missing here? And it can be just something very minute, but it's such a fun track. If you can get it right, if you can get the car in clean air, Charlotte is such a fun track.
4 laps to go, coming up to 3, and Austin, he's got almost a second gap between him and Fortson Poston. Now 3 laps to go. Fortson has fallen back to Sanford, and it looks like those guys could be battling for that second spot. We'll have to keep our eye on it, but man, it is incredibly close out here.
Yep, I think Fortson must have burned his stuff off looking at the lap times from the previous lap before we get this next one with 2 to go. Austin Mitty was below 30.7. Fortson was in the mid 30.9s, and Sanford did a 30.5. So the cars behind definitely chasing down the 41 as we take 2 to go.
2 to go, and Jordan McGraw going to take underneath that 37, tried to gain another spot. Currently P3, trying to go for P2 with Fortson up on that high side directly in front of Andrew Sanford, but that draft is going to get them ahead there, and Jordan going to run up high as he gets tight.
Yeah,
and
here
to
we
the
go
final
to
lap.
The white flag. Austin Mitty, that's what he wanted to see. No more chances. It's just got to bring it home for 1.5 miles. But Fortson under pressure. He's doing. And I guarantee you right now that 41 is mirror driving with whoever's got the run. He's going to stay in front of him to try to hold on to second.
Austin Mitty getting ready to go into turn 3 and 4, and if he can make it to the start-finish line, he's going to be your winner here at the Open, heading into the main, so he will be locked in. Here he comes across the start-finish line. Huge congratulations to Austin Mitty. That will be his first win here in SnB, and it's going to be for the Open, for the All-Star race. Fortson Poston going to be in second, Jordan McGraw in third.
Yep, Jordan getting by Andrew Sanford on the line for that. He and Joe Turley round out the top 5. 6th place going to Ryan Robertson. Luke Allen dropped off the tail of that group towards the end of the towards the end of the Open. He finished 7th. Your final qualifier will be Nick Tirana, who finishes 8th.
Yeah, so those are going to be the drivers who move on. Unfortunately, Matthew Gale, Christopher Pugliese, Jose Ruiz, and Philip Bridgman will not move on to the main. But we got to have a chat with Austin, see if we can get him in here. But I don't see him in a chat. Yeah, so we may not be able to talk to him. But guys, man, we are going to try to get into the main for this next portion. And let's see if I can page Mr. Austin Mitty and get him to the booth for an interview. We have to wait for that next lobby to join up here.
Great job by him. I thought he might be in trouble when the 41 of Fortson Poston got around him, because I thought Fortson would be able to stop him. Oh, I guess he's here.
Yeah, here he is, Austin. Man, oh man, what did I tell you? A win is coming. And you get it done here at the Open, one of my favorite tracks, Charlotte. How did the car feel out there?
I don't know. I think I'm just getting a little lucky here, but it was fun. I didn't expect to beat Fortson for sure. I was cool around in second, and I don't know. He was like, the arrow blocking shit's really hard to like. I don't know how to explain it, but I started running different lanes and just got by him. It was fun. It was cool. It's cool to win a race, but it wasn't meaningful. But
it's coming though. Cool. It's coming. So clean air, is that really huge here? Was that an issue being behind him?
Yeah, for sure. Clean airs for these cars is just, you just drive away from the field to get clean air.
All right. Well, next up is going to be the
Wait.
main event here. How do you think you're going to do?
Um, uh, I don't know. We can't qualify, right? People who made it.
Correct. Yeah.
Probably not very good then. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So
It'll
I
be an
gotta
80
back out of
lap
this to join a
race.
different the new one.
Yes, you'll back out of this
Okay.
one. The new one should be showing up in at least a minute or two, and we'll head on over
Okay.
there. But a huge congratulations. Really fun race to watch.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right. Let's see if we can get a couple other drivers in here, but we'll try to leave this lobby and see what we can do. Get in that league portal, Matt. It should show up very soon, I would think. Yeah, it's not even open yet, so he said we might have to wait a little bit as he tries to get it going.
Yeah, not fully knowing when the open was going to end. They kind of set it for a few minutes from now, just to be safe in case we had some cautions. But we only had that first one right out of the gate. That was pretty good.
Absolutely. Let's get some of these drivers in here while we wait, make it a little interesting. Man, we had, let's see. Yeah, we got Fortson in here. We got Jordan McGraw. Jordan, how was your race out there? I mean, you had a lot of battles brewing up.
Yeah, it was I mean, the start was kind of wonky in the back and we had a wreck and lost my teammate there and that kind of sucked, but then yeah, just took off and we're kind of in a good spot and was trying to kind of take care of my stuff and then everyone behind me was running way harder and then it's like, well, that's kind of getting a little worrisome and it fell back to like 6th or so, but then there was a bit of a gap between 8th and 9th, so felt kind of comfortable and then everyone in front of me kind of started coming back to me, except for those front two and just I was like, well, I guess I might as well pass them and we were just racing so hard with nothing really on the line. It was fun. I mean, we were racing hard, but I mean, it didn't serve much of a purpose but to entertain stuff. So hopefully it was fun to watch for y'all up in the booth. It was pretty fun, but again, I don't know what all we accomplished by it, but yeah.
You made
Somehow
it in.
came back to third. We think we were catching the 41 there. If I could have maybe cleared the 37 a lap or two earlier, I could have maybe challenged for second. I don't know, but 77 was pretty well gone. All in all, it was fun. I enjoyed myself. But I get to race in an all-star race finally. I don't think I have in this league in forever. It usually either end up head on in a wall somewhere or something else happens. So it's pretty cool, and can't wait to see what happens tonight.
Any tips or tricks that you've learned for the main race here?
I don't know what I learned here. I mean, we were driving, pretty hard. I mean, I was still kind of pacing myself, but we're still driving a little bit over, kind of what a race pace is. So I mean, I just learned that everyone's gonna be, yeah, pretty full on balls to the wall here. So that kind of got me in the, in the right mindset for that, and dog eat dog, tooth and nail, and get every bit of track position you can when you can, and we'll fight with everything we've got.
Well, there you go. Congratulations on a top 3. It was a fun race to watch, and man, there's some fun battles out there. So I'm excited for the main. I think it's going to be a fun one to watch.
I think it will too. This is a racy track, and again, I think we're capable of putting on a good show if we can keep her green.
I think so. All right, Matt. We have Mr. Fortson Poston in here. So incredibly consistent, so strong. He got P2.
Yep, Fortson, Matt in the booth. Solid, very, very solid run for you. You got around the 77 of Austin Mitty there, but it seemed like maybe he took a little too much out of the tires. Was that the case when he got back to you, or were you just kind of trying to conserve, knowing that like you were locked into the All-Star race, whether or not you won or came home in second?
Well, I think I ate my tires towards the end. I was trying to push and run away, and I didn't run away far enough, and he came back to me. I was up front, so I was like, all right, I'm just going to win this thing because I was up front, and I had a good gap to third place. I just ate my tires too much, but I'm not too mad about it because I got another race to do. Just learning, see what I can push it, where I need to back off a little bit. I kept stomping the throttle instead of rolling onto it, which is probably why I ate my tires. But I think it was fine. Clean air was nice. I hope I can be there for the main race, but we'll see.
Yeah, and what did you learn that you can now apply going to our All-Star race that should be opening up in a minute or two if it's not already open?
Just I'll be a little more patient, getting on the gas and braking just that little bit earlier. That's about it.
Gotcha. Did you were you I have to ask, were you worried at all seeing the third and fourth and fifth place cars starting to catch you there really quick at the end, or did you feel like you were kind of in a good spot?
I just felt like it was a good spot. I mean, top 8 advanced, so I was like, they passed me, whatever, you know. It's just all-star open. Who cares if I finish second? Just locked into the dance. So I mean, I wasn't worried, but I was always trying to hold them off just to stay where I was.
Gotcha. Oh, good luck, Fortune. Hopefully we can talk to you again at the end of the night.
I'll try. Thank you.
All right, the lobby is up, Matt, so you should be able to join on in.
I
See
am.
if we can get this up.
I saw it up. I was just trying to focus on answering or asking questions before
Right, yeah.
before I joined in, especially because this is like just to be absolutely sure I hit spectate, not that after how many other times I've done it twice this season where I've hit join as a driver, be like, please, and I've mentally had to say it twice, Eliza, like, please don't mention my name. Like, I know my name's on the entry. Let's just don't mention it.
And
like,
I did it anyway, didn't I?
Yes, you do. And both times
I
I'm
think
sitting
it's
there
so
going,
funny.
I'm sitting there going, oh, I really wish you hadn't. I already feel dumb.
It happens. We all do it. Stack Icy out there in chat. Austin got the win here and moves on. The top 8 drivers, in fact, move on. We should have around 17 for the main event here. 80 laps with a mandatory caution going at the start of lap 40, or you could say the end of lap 39. And Stacka says Saturday and Sunday will be interesting. Very surprised at Scott McLaughlin. Pole record of 2:34. That is so fast. Holds up. That is crazy. Yeah, that's some wild speeds out there. You can see a lot of drivers out here practicing at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Joe Berg getting a little loose out there on the backstretch. Tom Flitcroft out on the track. Brian Pizzakimi in that number 78. He is out there. One of a winner and playoff driver, if I'm not mistaken, from last season. So he is locked in and will be qualifying. Joseph Turley out there on track, and his car is not looking too good right now.
Nope, he slid into the inside wall last I saw of him.
Ouch.
So to review the format here, we have our playoff and winners from last year. They can qualify, but our open drivers can't? Is that how we're doing this tonight, or can everybody now qualify?
Open drivers that moved on will not qualify. Only the drivers that were locked in will be qualifying.
Perfect. Not at all asking because I didn't know. Just wanted you to tell all the fans in case they didn't know. I completely knew.
There you go.
Where is it written down on my notepad over here?
Mr. Austin Mitty, your scheme was Danica Hocevar. You had GoDaddy with the 77 number. That's what I saw. I don't know if that's what it was supposed to be, because I know Mr. Jimmy Cocker was talking about a paint scheme, so he didn't get it in on time, so he was kind of curious what you wanted to run also.
I was seeing him with a Miller, Austin Mitty, the 77. I was seeing him with a Miller Lite car.
Really? Yeah, I was seeing Danica Patrick. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I see a Miller Lite. We've got a different paint scheme here. I mean, he's got double paint schemes in one night. You know, it's a special night.
No,
Beautiful.
Miller saw him win the All-Star Open and went, wait.
We need to sponsor him. Let's go.
Put it on the car. Our car didn't make it. Here, quick. Put it on his car.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The practice says 13 minutes, but once we are sure that all drivers are in here, we will move it on. Let's see, do we have all drivers? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We are missing 2 drivers. We'll see if they show up. Otherwise, we will be moving on. But you've heard the drivers, a little bit different. Some drivers using their stuff up a little too early. Clean air is going to be huge tonight. Hopefully we don't get involved in any first lap shenanigans. You know, I always say watch out for turn 1, lap 1. Heck, tonight it was watch out for the start as it is.
Yeah, and it seems to always be Charlotte, too. It's very rarely other tracks of this configuration. Not all the time, but it seems like a lot of the times when I've seen a restart accident, it seems to be at Charlotte for some weird reason, and I can't explain why, because we go to other 1.5-mile tracks of this exact configuration, and yet Charlotte seems to have the large number, at least when I see it, of those types of either start or restart accidents.
Let's take a look at these lap times. Fortson Poston 29.598. Exactly what we saw in practice from the open event. So very consistent here. Joseph Turley going to move up to the top. Austin Mitty in 3rd. Brody Folliker in 4th. And Mr. Jimmy Cocker going to round out the top 5. Joe Berg in that 93 sitting P6. So very, very close times here.
Yeah, a ton of... Yep, we're very, very close, like, all the way from... Because it's from Turley to Cocker is a 10th, and Joe Berg's only 5 1,000ths behind Jimmy, so it's going to be a very, very tight window, and that all it could take is one mistake in qualifying to put you in a spot where you don't want to be. Won't be as bad for any of these guys who can qualify. For the guys who made it in through the open, though, they don't have a choice. They're going to have to try to work their way through the field. So I hope Austin Mitty enjoyed the clean air, because he's not going to get it for a little bit at least when we get to the race.
Fair enough, yeah. I just spoke to a couple of admins, and they're saying we are still missing 2 drivers, hoping to get them in. One is on their way home trying to make it. That's going to be... I see a couple of drivers going through the grass there, but Thomas Harmon will be one and Brendan Book will be the other. So we'll see if we get these 2 drivers in here, but 11 more minutes in practice. Man, oh man, chat, let me know. Who do you think is going to win the main? You see the drivers out there that we have so far. It should be 17 total. So it's going to be a very, very tight race, but a couple of drivers look loose. It's going to be very interesting to see.
Indeed, and we have, and Fortson again looking fast, but we saw what happened with him midway through the All-Star race, or more like 3/4 of the way, not quite past the midway point, but he burned up his stuff. Are we going to see other drivers who maybe haven't had that extra experience of being in a race condition like this tonight that might make that same mistake? Especially, like, you could see, like, a Brendan Book or a Thomas Harmon who are getting home, and I don't know what practice they've done outside of these sessions, but they're going to get home with no laps turned if they get here right on the buzzer. So they're basically going to have to jump in and qualify, and then they may not know how these cars are going to behave 20, 30 laps into a run. The good thing is we don't have to go 40 laps green. We may, which would be interesting to see if that fall off, but we may also not, and then we also could get some pit strategy. Some drivers towards the back of the pack might just go lap 25, okay, I'm going to take tires, because they know they only have to go 15 laps to, I was almost at stage break again, not the stage break, the halfway point, the mandatory caution.
Right.
Fun flag. That's the return. There, it's the fun flag. That's what we're throwing. It's a fun flag.
There you go.
And then when they get that, they've got prime position to try to stay in front when everybody presumably then comes in. So we could see strategy play out if we get some cautions.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be very interesting. 40 laps on either side, though. I don't see anyone going in, so it'll be very interesting to see how those cautions play out in here and what they do. I mean, they're going to have to save. That is definitely a thing that's going to have to happen, and you can see some of the drivers already hitting the wall. It's just so incredibly close out there, and if you're in that dirty air, you're going to guarantee get extremely tight behind somebody. So that's just something that they're going to have to be prepared for in this race.
Yes, indeed. And another thing is be prepared for how the car will change if the situation in front of you changes. And I don't mean like somebody wrecking. I mean, if you get into the corner and you have clean air and then the driver in front of you, either comes up, gets in front of you, either comes down the track or moves up in front of you, because all of a sudden you go from having that nice clean air where you can make the corner nicely and all of a sudden you got tight air on the nose. And I've seen so many people, not in here necessarily, but in other leagues where they run through the corner in clean air, get the dirty air on their nose, and don't react in time, and they actually knock the wall down out of turn 2 or turn 4 because they don't react fast enough. So hopefully our drivers will be able to react if those situations occur during this race.
Yeah, that's going to be the hard part. So, man, take a look at these guys going side by side. If this is what we're going to see in the race, I am so pumped for this. You have Luke Allen. He's going to have the fastest lap so far, 29.461. Jimmy Cocker, a 29.538. Take a look at how tight it is. These guys just nose to tail trying to test everything they can in the car before this race goes live.
Indeed, and Jimmy throwing it to the bottom, trying to maybe get something there, and he learned the lesson that we saw in the Open. It doesn't always work for you to just throw the car to the bottom. This isn't like NASCAR Thunder 04 where the bottom line is the best line. If you can carry the momentum up high, you can be a pain in the backside of your competitors. That it's a tricky thing to do as well, because if you're running that high line trying to keep up that same speed, you're going to eventually burn the right front off. You just have to be careful doing it, but if you can do it well, you can really, really frustrate everybody behind you.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes, man. It's gonna be very tight. So I see Harmon just signed up, so we may not have Brendan Book. In fact, if he does not get here, we're gonna get Matthew Gale if he is still available, and he will take his place.
Now that would be interesting to see. I know he said get a message in the general chat for the league's Discord, said he messed up his qualifying. It would be interesting to see if he could take what he's learned from the Open and get a second shot here. That's of course if Brendan doesn't make it.
Yeah.
We want Brendan to make it, but it would be interesting as Joe Turley takes out the second car of the day, and Jimmy.
I think they're having a little bit of fun out there too. Oh my gosh.
Yes,
yeah.
This is
getting a little chaotic out there.
League racing at its finest. Get it out of your systems now, please.
Exactly. All right, we'll see if Matthew Gale joins in on the fun. He is the next up if Brendan Book doesn't make it, and it looks like he's not going to. We have 5 minutes left in practice. If we can get Matthew Gale in there, then we will be moving the practice on to qualifying, and those who were locked in before today even started, they will qualify, while the remainder of the field will be automatically put in the back of the field going into the race.
That is a very interesting way to do it. I think that's kind of clever, because you give the guys who obviously won their way in, you give them the little bit of extra advantage to kind of set themselves up for success if they can.
Yeah, I think it's, we always try to think of something different each season. This is, like I said, this is the first season that we've had this many drivers move on from the Open into the main. Not only that, but it's also the first time that we have not had the popularity vote. So a couple of different things for the season.
I I mean, I think you could have. The popularity vote is a nice touch. You guys made it realistic, like how NASCAR actually has it for all-star stuff, which is at Dover this week or this coming week for reasons. I'm actually kind of sad. I like Dover, and I have like, why make it just the all-star race?
I think it'll be a fun track. I mean, Dover, it's probably one of my favorite tracks out there, so I think it'll be a fun one.
It's one that it either loves me or it hates me. Like, and sometimes it happens in the same session. They're qualifying on the pole for one of my first ever league races, and then promptly losing the lead off turn 2 because the league's like top guy is on my outside, and I'm trying to clear him. And I slide up and clip the wall off too, and he gets by me, so I don't even lead a lap at my track after I got the pole. That was fun.
I bet. You always have some crazy stories, I tell you.
Yeah, I mean, there was just fun from Shake and Bake last year. I don't think I ran in the All-Star race. I was in the Open. I think I just missed the main event, but that was fine. And then me getting taken out of the final race at Charlotte. But that was like that chaos is what we hope to see here. Like, end of the race, everybody just in a position to go for it. Like, at that point, you can't even be mad. Like, the wreck that got me at the end of last year's race, it's just gonna happen. It's not, I mean, with the, and I can say that, months and months removed. At the time, I was not a happy person, but like months and months removed, everybody's just going for it, and there were like 4 guys in that group, like the top 5, that needed to win, including me. So at the end of the day, it's the last lap that's gonna happen, especially in Gen 6. Like the Gen 6, you can't pull away in Gen 6. Not really. Like the same with the ARCA cars.
There's so many cars out there that are so fun to drive. I don't even think I've driven them all. It's crazy. I love trying them all, though. That's a lot of fun.
The ARCA car is probably my favorite to drive on a road course. It's, for some reason, it just feels a little bit better. It's just weird. Like, the Gen 7 should be the best. It's not like I hate the Gen 7, although having done some test laps at the Glen after running trucks there all week, and then realizing the hard way, you can't take the curbs the way you do in the trucks anymore, and finding out the hard way by ending up in the outside wall. Because you try to take that, because it's just muscle memory. You take that corner the same way you've taken it about 200 times in a week, and then, I'm on the curb. Ouch. I forgot this car has the suspension of a brick.
Yeah. Well, chat, we have 16 drivers in here. I do believe that is going to be who we're going to have for the main event. Again, we will have a mandatory caution at lap 40, the start of lap 40, and that will gather everyone back up, and we will race to the remainder to 80, basically. It's going to be a lot of fun. Man, I just think it's just going to be incredibly tight. That dirty air is going to be a huge thing we're going to have to watch out for. And I think we're going to have a lot of battles. I mean, seeing the Open, it gives you a little insight of what we're going to see here on track. And I think in the middle of the field, we're going to have a lot of battles brewing up out there. And possibly 1 to 2, maybe 3 cars get away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have 16 for this one, so that should be interesting. We got about the same size that had registered for our Open, but this will be the first time we have the 16 guys all together. Should be fun. We get to see the best of the best for Shake and Bake go at it.
All right. Thank you guys for holding on during that break here. We had to make sure we got all of our drivers in that needed to be in. We are in qualifying again. This will be only the drivers that were locked in. That is 9 drivers that were locked in. They either were in the playoffs last season or they won a race this season. So these drivers that you see, they have won a race or were in the playoffs, and the remainder of the field will not be out in qualifying. All right, you see a couple of drivers already out there. Let's see if we can't get a view of them. Tom Flitcroft being one of them. It is his birthday today, so a big birthday shout out to Mr. Tom Flitcroft. I hope he has a great race tonight. You can see him out there. Joe Berg is another driver. He is out here qualifying. Brian Pizzichemi, Tristan Helf, Brody Folliker, and Mr. Thomas Harmon.
And that is a rarity in and of itself, so I'm actually watching him go around, that Brian Pizzichemi is actually qualifying.
I know.
It's weird. It's opposite day. Because if you're new here, folks, the reason we say that is Brian never qualifies. So he actually is qualifying. Like, oh boy.
Not only did he qualify, but so far he's out on pole 29.608. But his teammate gonna pass him up 29.551. Joe Berg gonna be in third, 29.617. Birthday boy Tom Flitcroft, 29.667, sitting P4. And his teammate, Tristan Helf, going to be in 6th, 29.717. And he gains, as soon as I say that, to P4.
Brody Folliker, P5, with the same, on my screen, is showing the same time of a 29.644. And then Flitcroft is now 6th with the 29.668. I think they were all getting it on lap 1 because I saw Brian do his second lap, and he was about an eighth of a second slower, so we'll have to see. I think that's gonna be it for. Is that it for our qualifiers, or do we have? I think we have 2 more who could qualify if they so choose.
We do. Jimmy Cocker and Francis Hamilton, both drivers out on the track currently for FIWB. So we'll see what they do here. And man, it is clouded. So we'll see what kind of track conditions that brings to these drivers.
Indeed, it can change, and the winds can change as well. Like, that's something you don't think about really. But the wind, depending on where it is, randomly generated in a session, like if it just happens to push you down the back straightaway, it can help so much. It's even at 1.5 miles. But I think that's gonna be it. Jimmy turning in a 798 on his second lap. Not sure if Francis is. Nope, there he goes. As soon as I say it, there he is.
Off they go. You got Jimmy Cocker, P6, Francis Hamilton, P8. So there might be one more driver that could qualify. I don't see anyone else going. It's going to be probably getting close to too late at this point. So that might be it for these guys. And then the remainder of the field will come out in the order iRacing puts them in. But man, oh man, this is going to be absolutely insane. I'm excited for it. Let me know, guys, who do you have winning the race for the main? This is going to be for the All-Star race. We've had a lot of different winners this season, but the only repeat winner has been Tristan Helf. He won 2 races this season, and it's going to be at Texas last week and also Kansas a few weeks ago. The remainder of the drivers who have won, they were different winners. Jimmy Cocker won Daytona. Thomas Harmon won Las Vegas. Brendan Book won Bristol. And Tom Flitcroft won Talladega.
I figured Tom would have a shot at that Talladega, just given, like, he actually, like, did very well in our preseason race at another super speedway, at the iRacing super speedway. He won that as well. Figured he would have a good chance to do that, and he did a good job. But Charlotte, a whole different beast as we get ready to go in the next about 10 seconds.
Yeah, 10 seconds to go. Matt, you know I'm going to put you on the spot. I had you pick the winner for the Open. Who do you think's going to win the main?
I feel like it would be mean if I didn't pick the birthday boy Tom Flitcroft here.
Ooh,
I know he's
okay.
starting 7th, but you feel like it would be mean to not pick him on his birthday, although it would not surprise me if another Tom, the one starting on the pole, does it.
I know.
And that's not because I spent the better part of a couple seasons of output racing having to run and watch his bumper the whole race.
Nothing to do
Tom's
with that,
fast.
huh? He
Nothing
is-
at all. Nothing
Yeah.
at all to the fact that I'd regularly finish behind Thomas Harmon and Brian Pizzicchemi. Nothing, not at all that they might win this. There's no reason I'd think that.
They are fast, and let's get this grid moving. We have Thomas Harmon. He is your pole sitter, 29.551. He's got his teammate, going to be Brian Pizzicchemi, to his outside in that 78 machine. Row 2 is going to be Joe Berg in the 93 with Tristan Helf to his outside. Row 3 is going to be Brody Folliker in the 42 car with teammate for FIWB Jimmy Cocker in the 11 machine. And row 4 is going to be Tom Flitcroft in the 8 car with Francis Hamilton in that 48. Row 5 is going to be Luke Allen to the inside with Jordan McGraw on the outside.
Fortson, Poston, and Joe Turley make up row number 6. Row 7, Austin Mitty and Andrew Sanford. And then Ryan Robertson and Nick Turana round out our field for the All-Star race.
All right, that is going to be your field here for the All-Star race. 80 laps tonight. It's going to be a fun one. And if I have to pick, since we're on the Tom train here, I think I would pick Thomas Harmon. Although Austin Mitty was very, very strong, and I do still think his win is coming. I would not be surprised if it were tonight. But man, it's a tough one. Can I pick 2 again? Can I do that?
Technically I did. I said Tom Flitcroft and Tom Harmon.
Yeah.
I'm learning. See, I'm learning from you now.
You're learning the ways.
Yes, I'm just sitting here going, yeah. See, you think
know.
you could get away with it? My turn.
All right, I'm going Harmon and Mr. Austin Mitty then. That's who I got. Fortson Poston gonna be my dark horse. Although he's not really a dark horse. I mean, he's right up there. I think
he's a dark horse.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Guys in chat, let me know. Cran just says, I'm picking the 68 for the paint scheme alone. I know. Man, Avril Lavigne, every car he has had the Avril Lavigne scheme. And I'll tell you what, I've raced behind him in the trucks plenty of times, and she's always, looks like she's punching my face because she's always making a punch. Little punch photo there. All right, here we go. 80 laps. We're getting ready to go green for the Charlotte All-Star race. Here we go. Thomas Harmon, Brian Pizzicchemi, side by side. A better start than what we had, but man, it looked a little sketchy, these two.
Just a little, but we see the inside row get rolling. Berg and Harmon clear Pizzicchemi, and he's kind of all by himself up high, but he's got the right outside of Brody Folliker down the back straightaway.
Side by side, these guys are on top of each other. Brody Folliker going to take to the inside underneath Joe Berg, who is on the outside, so that's going to be for P2. Right behind him is going to be birthday boy Tom Flitcroft and Brian Pizzicchemi in that 78. That's going to be for 4th and 5th. Look at that 3 wide right there. The 8, the 78, and the 7. Luke Allen on the inside. And man, these guys look so much more aggressive than they did in that open.
You're now in here, right? You've got to go. So all these guys going for it. 3 wide through the dog leg. I don't know if I'd do that. You can. It's close and they make it work, but oh boy.
Yeah, Luke Allen, just an incredible job. I mean, he is right dead center of that. And there's just not a lot of places you can go when that happens. So great job for him. He's got their 38 Tristan Helf on that high side, really bringing it up there. So we'll see how that momentum does, bringing him off the exit.
And at the front, Joe Berg, a phenomenal run from the outside of Brody Folliker to the inside of Harmon, going for the lead in turn 1. He's got the nose ahead, but Harmon's going to have that run down the back straightaway.
Nice run. These guys just on top of it. That high side momentum, though, absolutely beautiful. And I'm curious, how many of these drivers are downshifting? Are we going to have any of them later on the run, or do we already have a few at the start of the race? It's lap 5 of 80. Remember, we will have a mandatory caution come out at the start of lap 40.
At least for right now, the front four were not downshifting. Tristan Helf was the first car that I saw was downshifting in fourth, but he's, trying to be aggressive to the outside of Jimmy Cocker for that fifth place spot.
On board with Thomas Harmon, he just downshifted going into 3, so we'll see if that is helping these guys turn that vehicle, try to get it to go where they want it to. But Joe Berg looking strong, sitting P2 currently. Very good spot for him, but man, too wide several spots throughout the field.
Yep, and you got to be careful with that. Ryan Robertson, the wall on the outside of Austin Mitty, trying to make something happen up high. It is so easy as well when you get used to running up high here at Charlotte. Like, you can run that Kyle Larson line pretty well lap after lap, but all it takes is one time where you just get it a little wrong, or you just catch dirtier at the wrong moment, and you can get that car on the wall. And these next gens are tough, but they will have parts on them that break pretty quickly if you smack that wall too many times.
Andrew Sanford started 12th. He's currently, he started 14th, currently sitting 12th. So he's moved up a couple of spots, but man, this track is so filled up right now. There's not a lot of places to take it and try to save the tires. So right now, some of these drivers might just be holding on, trying to save the car and make sure they're in it for the final part of this race. But you can see Austin Mitty, he was our winner for the Open. You can see him out here currently sitting P10. He's got Luke Allen in that 7 machine directly underneath him, and it looks like Andrew Sanford wanting to make it 3 wide, but decides not to and tucks it in behind that 77. Oh, he ghosted out a little bit.
And got to look at the 41, Fortson Poston on the move. Up, started 11th, up to 7th. He's decided he just needs to get forward, which you can really do. I mean, we are going to have that mandatory caution flag, so even if his tires fall off and he ends up at the tail of the field, as long as he stays on the lead lap when we get the mandatory yellow, he's not out of it. So why not take the risk and try to get forward? I know that contradicts what I said about saving tires, but if you're in the position of Fortson or the other guys from the Open, why not be aggressive? Because at the worst come to worst, you're just going to end up back where you started, and at the best, you get a caution while you're running 4 or 5 spots better. Push it a little and let's see what happens. So
absolutely,
Tristan Helf in the wall, and I did say just got to be careful running that third groove at Charlotte. It can be done, and you can do it. You just got to be so careful to not burn the tires up doing it, because it's just, like I said, one misstep and you're in the wall. And this isn't like years past where you can maybe get away with skimming the wall and being able to keep speed. We now have these walls where it's like you get in the wall and you skim it for a second or two, it just slows you down so much.
These guys mostly in a single file line, but I'll tell you what, they are just searching the track for that clean air. But we do have a battle for P2. It's going to be Joe Berg and Brody Folliker. Brody on that inside. He's got a nice run out. Going to secure that second spot, but Joe Berg, man, he's got a huge run. We'll see if he's able to capitalize on that.
Yep, got to see. He switches lanes. He went low, and now he's going to the high side, trying to hold off Tom Flitcroft, who got the nose of that Snickers Chevrolet to the bottom of the track. Couldn't quite get by him, but man, you got the 2-3-4 fight going on. You've got Health versus Jimmy back there. Fortson having a solid run to get up through the field. And yeah, they are single file, but nobody really, save for the 30 of Joe Turley, is really falling off the back of this pack for the most part.
Steve, I see you out there. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Thomas Harmon, he's got almost a second lead over P2, which is going to be Brody Folliker. And man, he's got a lot of drivers behind him, super hungry for that second spot. Joe Berg trying to make a move, trying to get to that second spot, unable to do so. But take a look at that line behind him. Absolutely insane, nose to tail, and Tom Flitcroft trying to go for that third spot.
Yeah, he is, but Brody dropped it to the bottom there, and right in front of Tom, and that just kills you when you feel like you've got a shot to make a pass, and then the car, not even the one you're fighting, just drops it to the bottom or puts it itself in front of you and takes away your clean air. That can just kill all the momentum on corner exits just because you get so tight.
The 11 and the 38 were going too wide for a battle. That was going to be for P5. Since then, Jimmy Cocker has stayed behind Tristan Helf in that 38, and you can see Tristan Helf all over the back bumper of his teammate for Minutemen Motorsports. That is going to be Tom Flitcroft and that 8 car.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid fight right there. I mean, Brody up in front of Joe Berg. You've got Flitcroft in there. Even the battle from behind, I believe 7-8 battle of Fortson Poston and Brian Pizzicami with Austin Mitty joining the party. They've even kind of been able to regain up and catch this group as they've been fighting. So this 5-car fight for second may turn into a 8 or 9 car fight very quickly.
On board with Jimmy Cocker, and you can just hear him downshifting into these corners, so I assume a lot of drivers are doing that at this point. He was side by side with Tom Flitcroft, but Tom has since fallen behind Jimmy Cocker and just trying to stay in line, save the tires, make it to lap 40 in one piece, and just try not to destroy those tires. You have to be able to get there. You don't want to kill your position before a lap 40 because you still have another half of the race to contend with. So you need that grid position.
Yeah, absolutely. As we've seen with Harmon just took off. Like when he got clear, he fended off, I believe it was Berg who made a run at him initially, and then it was just Harmon just said, you know what, I'm just going to do what I do, and when he gets in clean air, and he just took off, and he's out by a couple seconds. Also helps that he's got no cars around him to slow him down by getting side by side, because you get side by side, you're going to be going slower than you would be if you guys are in a straight line, as I see Tristan Helf go to the high side in 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'm on board with Harmon, and he is just taking it so easy in there, and it's going to pay off in the long run. I mean, that clean air is king. It's exactly where you want to be, so he is enjoying that as everyone else is battling it out behind him. And you can see Joe Berg in second, Tristan Helf in third. Jimmy Cocker going at it with his teammate Brody Folliker. That's going to be for P4. Looks like they are still going at it, and then we're going to have Tom Flitcroft right behind him.
And Jimmy with that high side just straight to the wall. He got away with it. But I think Brody checked up, and that allows Tom to dive to the inside, taking advantage of Brody being nice to his teammate. And I don't know if I would have been that nice. You hit the wall, you might as well go for the spot. Although there goes Brody to the inside of Tom. Says, I don't care if it's your birthday.
Yeah, Tom went right up in front of him, and Brody says, I don't think so, I'm out of here. And he goes right down low and tries to get it up there through the field, but they are still side by side, and now Brody is going to fall back behind that 8 machine.
Yeah, and now he's in trouble because Brian Pizzicami has probably just been taking it easy. He didn't shift into turns 3 and 4 that time. He's probably been taking it really easy. Now it's going to start to pay off as we get to the back half of this run. He's going to probably start to surge forward.
I'm watching the gap over Joe Berg and Thomas Harmon, and that has closed a few tenths. He is now under a second gap between him and Joe Berg, so that gap is definitely starting to close. Tristan Helf is still taking that high side around the corner here in 3 and 4, and Jimmy Cocker right behind in P4. Tom Flitcroft is going to round out your top 5. So far, Matt, the biggest movers are going to be Andrew Sanford and Ryan Robertson, along with Austin Mitty. Those 3 drivers have moved up 4 and 5 spots from where they started.
And Austin doing a very nice job. I think he just got by Fortson Poston for that 8th spot. Winner of the Open just about 20 minutes ago. Doing a very nice job, although, right, if he wants to catch that front 7, he's got a bit of a gap to do it. About 4 tenths, which is definitely doable at a place like Charlotte. But it's also deceptively difficult if, you get into the dirty area. It's so easy to get closed up, and then one slip in the dirty area and you fall back to 5, 6, 7 tenths. It's just
Yeah.
that's how susceptible these cars are to getting into dirty air when you're least expecting it. As we got I think a battle for second. Oh,
Ooh, Thomas Harmon.
Harmon in trouble.
Man, let's take a look back, see what happened here.
No caution.
Looks like he got on the apron there.
Oh.
Tried so hard to save it. Fantastic save. Going through the tri-oval. Look at all the cars trying to miss him. Absolutely incredible, but I am heartbroken for him on that one. Luckily, we are going to have that caution on lap 40, but man, that is devastating.
That definitely is gonna sting. I mean, doesn't get the caution, which, you know, good for us, bad for him. He probably could have used that, but I think it's just he got his tires down on that paint. I don't even think his splitter caught the apron. I've done that. It looked to me like he caught like just a little bit more of that paint. It has a little bit more grip than he was expecting, and it just pulled that left front around on him to the point where he couldn't drive out of it and had to try to save the race car.
Yeah, you can see him moving his wheel down the backstretch, trying to test what kind of grip, what kind of steering he's got left on it. But meanwhile, we do have a new leader, Tristan Helf, in first. And he's got Joe Berg right there trying to go for that lead, but he tucks behind. Is 27 of 80. The race still very much green here. And a lot of things going on. I'll tell you what, we do have a side-by-side battle for P3. That's going to be Jimmy Cocker and birthday boy Tom Flitcroft.
And Tom doing a nice job there. I think he saw Jimmy drop low, said, okay, I'll take it over. I'll take the high side here if you're going to give it to me. He's trying to pull that top. Jimmy, one of the best in shake and bake, trying to hang with him on that bottom side.
Very, very close. And now he's side by side with Brian Pizzakimi on that outside. Brody Follicker going to be behind, almost in the wall. It's going to be very, very tight. Austin Mitty in 7th, Fortson Poston in 8th. Andrew Sanford 9th, and Francis Hamilton, he's going to round out your top 10.
Yeah, and looking a little further back, we got a battle between Ryan Robertson and Jordan McGraw over 11th. Luke Allen has slipped back to 13th. Joe Turley 14th. Vic Turano running 15th. And, of course, Tom Harmon back in 16th after that slip up out of turn 4. Very uncharacteristic for Tom. I think you've known him more than I have, Eliza. That's very rare to see Tom Harmon have a slip anywhere like that.
It is, and I know he had a drive tonight, almost did not make the race, literally got home and got directly on iRacing to make it to this race, so he had 0 practice time whatsoever, and I think that is a huge portion of what, kind of led to what happened there.
Indeed, and it's impressive when he walks through the door with no practice, no qualifying, no anything, and gets it on the pole. So don't count him out yet. We still have a one caution, so he'll be able to get back level with the field on the same tires. And we've seen guys, come from the back of the field already. Like our highest runners are like Austin Mitty, who started in the tail because he won the Open. So don't count them out just yet. Don't count out Harmon yet when we get this field bunched up.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Joe Berg, though, he had a little contact with the wall that's going to allow Tristan Helf to get a little bit more of a gap, just under half a second here. He's 0.440 on the gap here. Tom Flitcroft in 3rd, Brian Pizzakimi 4th, Jimmy Cocker rounding out the top 5, and we are coming up on that halfway point, which means mandatory caution. As soon as you see that lap 40, that is when the caution will come out for these drivers. They'll take the tires, they'll take the fuel, and we'll start it all over again.
And that'll be interesting because we'll get to see guys, like, if they've learned. Like, if in this first 40 laps you realized, I've pushed too hard, or you're running behind guys who are a little bit better than you on your tires or on the car just in general, you can maybe learn something from them and then try to apply it to your own race. Because we're going to have about 35 laps green when we go back to, or did the yellows not count? Excuse me, I wasn't sure. Did the yellows not count here either, or?
It should count on this one.
Okay, so we're going to have probably about 36, 37 laps. And while that's a few laps shorter, you still don't want to go burn your stuff off in the first 10 laps.
Right.
That's going to be a very unfun 27 laps if you burn your tires up in the first 10 to 15.
Yeah, it's such a fine line because you want it. The start of the race is the best time. Everyone is bunched up. That's the best time to make the moves, gain as much as you can, but it's also the best time to absolutely destroy your tires and ruin your race. So, how much are you going to do? How much are you going to race and be aggressive at the start? And how much are you going to leave at the end to make sure that you can finish the race out top? So, it's just something that each driver has to determine what they can do, what they can get away with.
For sure, and Austin Mitty's done really a nice job of kind of being like the best of both worlds. He's come from the back, like he started in the tail of the field because of his All-Star Open win, but he got aggressive early, got some track position, and now it seems like he saved his tires up maybe a little bit better than some of the leaders because he just passed Jimmy Cocker to get into the top 5.
Yeah, he's done a remarkable job, up 8 spots so far. And he saved it for the Open. Fortson Poston said he used up his tires a little too much, so he did not. Hopefully, he learned from that for sure. We see him in 9th currently, so he's doing all right. He's doing pretty solid. He's gained 2 spots from where he started, but I know I'm waiting for him. He's another one that I know he's going to win before the season ends. It's just a matter of when's it going to happen? What race is it?
Exactly. He's just got to find a way to put it all together. Like
Yes.
it's because we've seen races, we've seen flashes where he is right on the tail of the leader to win the race. I believe Bristol, he was right there at the end. Like that could have very easily, he could have been locked in immediately with that if he had found a way to win Bristol. I mean,
Wow.
and he couldn't quite get to Brendan Book, but it was so close. It was a really impressive run because Bristol is not an easy track, especially in these cars. With the dirty air, even at Bristol, dirty air is a problem. So it was very impressive. He's gonna find it if he can put it all together.
Absolutely. And here we go. Lap 39 of 80. Caution should come out as soon as we hit the line this time around. Joe Berg going to be in 2nd, Tom Flitcroft 3rd, Brian Pizzikimi 4th, and Austin Mitty going to round out your top 5. We'll see as it comes around here. We will have a caution out, and they will be able to go in, take tires, take fuel, and we'll go to the final portion of the race here at the All-Star race. Austin Mitty winning the Open. He sounded just pretty surprised that he won, I'll be honest, and I don't think he's realized how much speed he's gained and just overall consistency. He's just done a really great job.
Definitely. That was, I think it was a surprise that he got back to Fortson because it is so, at that point of a run, I think it was about lap 25, that Fortson got around him. You're probably thinking at that point with 60% of the run done that, oh, well, that's it. Because you're not going to get it as we get it as now we get the caution end of 40. So
yeah,
but it's like when you get about 25 laps into a run, like at a mile and a half, and somebody goes by you the way Fortson went by him, you're kind of sitting there going, well, that's it for me. But he did a great job somehow getting back around Fortson, and I think it was sort of Austin being able to take care of his tires, but also Fortson, like he said, he pushed to try to get away, and it just shows, like, if you push a little bit, if you make these tires angry, they will bite back.
We have Thomas Harmon. He is looking forward to this caution, catching everyone back up. I mean, he had a terrific run going, just unfortunately a little too much tire on that line down there. Nick Tarana, 15th, and Ryan Robertson, 13th. Luke Allen, 14th. These drivers all going to be making their way onto pit lane, guaranteed. I don't think we're going to see anyone stay out, Matt.
No, absolutely not. You've done 40, no cautions midway through the stage, no caution in the final 10 laps where somebody at the back of the pack might decide to come down and put tires on and then try to flip to get the position. No, everybody's going to come down, get 4 fresh Dr. Feelgoods on their car and try to go back out. So
Absolutely. I'm impressed with Joe's run tonight. He's looking very, very solid out there. Brian Pizzakimi, no surprise, still up here. He did qualify tonight, which we talk about he never does. But since he was already locked in, he qualified here. Tom Flitcroft 4th. But yeah, take a look. Everyone going in, I would say the only reason someone did not go in is if they were not paying attention. And that would be the biggest palm to the forehead right there if they did not.
It's not gonna work. Like, you've ran 40 plus laps on your tires. I mean, unless you want to experiment with how quickly you can lose the lead with 40 lap older tires than everybody else in the field. Spoiler, It's going to be middle of turn 1, because it's just unbelievable how much the difference is. And remember, this is like 60 miles of a difference. Like, to put it in a perspective, that's like the average commute. Oh,
trouble for Flitcroft.
Oh, that was Tom trying to get off pit road, and
yeah,
just a slip. I hope he didn't get any damage from that. He might have just caught that cement wall on the edge of pit road. We'll have to see. Looks like he gets away clean.
Yeah.
Not the first time Tom's slid and bounced off the wall on pit road, or in a pit cycle, mind you, and gotten away with it. I'm trying to remember.
Man, that's crazy.
Where was it the other one that he did it? It wasn't California. It was a points race. I don't remember. But he did do it this season. And he got away clean, and you and I both thought, well, that's his race done.
Right. And off he went anyway. That's crazy.
Yep. And
Joe. Looks like Joe is the one who beat everyone off a pit lane, so he's going to lead us back to green. Tristan Helfin 2nd. Brian Pizzakimi came out 3rd. Tom Flitcroft gets his spot back. He's in 4th. Andrew Stanford. They're going to round out your top 5.
Yep, and the open winner, Austin Mitty, lines up 6th. You have Fortson Poston 7th. Jimmy Cocker, I believe my numbering was wrong. I think Fortson is. My apologies, I messed that up. He's 7th, so Austin Mitty is 8th. Oh, that's right, because he had to let Tom pass. So Jimmy Cocker then is 9th, and Brody Falker is 10th. I believe that's what it is. My iRacing's not giving me the right numbers.
On the backstretch, the lights are out on the pace car, so these drivers are getting ready to go back to green. Hopefully the first and only caution, and this was a mandatory one to get everyone bunched back up, get them all back together. And we'll go racing to lap 80. We'll see who the all-star of 2026 SnB Season 6 is. We're going to find out tonight.
Yep, and don't count out Tom Harmon. Like, now he's got his fresh tires, and the thing is, when he makes a mistake like that, it is rare, but you see him drive mad. And if anything, that's more scary than him just pulling away. Because you see him in his mirror and you know he's driving mad.
Green.
Oh boy. Good jump from Berg. Very good jump from Berg and Brian. I think Tristan may have spun the tires a little as Brody immediately goes 3 wide into turn 1.
Man, these guys are not playing around. Joe Berg with a great start here. Brian Pizzakimi in 2nd. We're going to have 2x2 all the way through from about 5th on. These guys just going for everything that they can. They know this is the prime opportunity to make up some spots. But you have to watch out for the tire wear. You don't want to kill those tires before you have a chance to get to the end here. And I'm seeing a lot of drivers make some contact with that wall, Matt.
They're trying to get all they can right now. Like you said, this is the best opportunity as we got a car sideways. I think that was the 34th one. What a save.
Man, that's a rough go for him on that one. A fantastic save for Jordan McGraw, but unfortunately that's going to put him off the field. Luckily, no caution, but unluckily for Jordan McGraw.
I mean, it could have been worse. The way I saw his car get sideways, it looked like it could have very easily been that problem where you counter steer to save and it snaps back into the wall on you. Good job by him to not let that happen. And Brian also around Tristan Helf, and now he's kind of running about a clue and a half higher than Joe Berg, trying to get
Take a look at all the different lines these drivers are riding, and I can tell you they're trying to go single file, trying to go into tire save mode, but again, going to be looking at different lines to get that clean air and try to get that momentum to move up through the field. But man, it is very, very tight, and we do have a couple of blinkers out there. I want to say Andrew Sanford might be one of them. We'll see, but man, oh man, close, tight field at the moment. Jimmy Cocker and Tom Flitcroft were side by side. Jimmy Cocker going to have a nose out. We'll see. This is going to be for P7 currently.
Drove it in deep. Is he going to clear? He was clear in the middle of the corner, but it's just so hard to come off the bottom in that situation. When you, like, even if you get the clear call, like when you go to the bottom and you know you're clear, it's just such a hard thing to just let the wheel out middle of the corner, like to just take that guy's line away, because that's what he would have had to do. He would have had the slide job up in front of Flitcroft, and with Tom having that big of a run, it would have either got Jimmy loose or Tom would have been able to cross over.
Joe Berg out in the front of the field, just over 2 10-second lead over Brian Pizzikemi. We're going to see him directly in front of Tristan Helf. These guys, again, looking for so many different lines that will provide clean air. It's just huge in these next-gen cars. You have to make sure that you have that clean air. Otherwise, it's going to get you tight, and you could be finding a wall at that point. So not what you want to see here in tonight's race at the All-Star race or any other race. So it's just something that they're going to fight all season.
Yeah, and it's really more prevalent for some, like all of the cars have it. Every car, every racing car is going to have that, where you want the toe of the car in front, but you don't want the dirty air. But for some reason, these Gen 7s are even more susceptible to it than the Gen 6s were. And the Gen 6s definitely had that problem, as Joe Berg got loose in the middle of 1 and 2, but stays in front of Brian Pizzikemi.
You can hear Joe shifting right there, currently first, started third in this race. And you see Tristan Helf in that red car down below. Man, really had a run going into that corner, and Joe looked like he made some contact with that wall, and you can see Brian Pizzikemi right behind him. This field is starting to get a lot closer to Joe after that contact.
And that's what it'll do. It'll slow you, even touching the wall just a little bit will slow you down, and like in real life, but iRacing does have that, like, I guess, anti-chastaining thing, where if you get in the wall for more than like a second, it will slow you down quite a bit more. So Berg doing a nice job to sort of recover a little bit of that gap to Brian that he had before he got in the wall.
We're going to see how he manages those tires at this point. He's going to have to take it really, really easy. I'm not sure he's going to be able to hold on to it at that point. We're going to find out, but Brian Pizzikemi, he's looking good. He's looking very consistent. He's got Tristan Helf moving up, trying to go underneath him, keep it in that clean air, and rise back up directly behind him.
Yeah, and Tristan did not get the best restart, which was unfortunate, because he started second, and I don't know, like I said, I don't know if he spun the tires or was in the wrong gear, but he just didn't take off. Good to see him, like, recover now and be back in that fight for second with Brian.
Austin Mitty up 9 spots from where he started in this race. He sits P4 currently in that 77 machine. He is your open winner as he moved on to the main. Brody Folliker going to be in 5th. We're going to have Andrew Sanford in 6th, Jimmy Cocker 7th, Fortson Poston, who finished 2nd in the Open. He's in P8. Tom Flitcroft 9th, and Francis Hamilton going to round out your top 10. Oh, take a look at who just took over that 10th spot. It's going to be Thomas Harmon. He was our leader and lost it on the apron. Did not bring out a yellow, but he's trying to make his way back through the field.
Indeed, and he would love to get a few more positions and maybe then get another caution so he can come in and put on another set of tires. He's doing the best he can, but it's just so hard when you get back in traffic like this. And even for Thomas, who's like one of the best drivers I've gone against personally, he is one of the best. And it just shows how much like track position matters with the Gen 7 because he's slowly crawling his way back up, and while we do have like 23, 22 laps to go, it's gonna take a lot for him to find a way to get all the way back.
Francis Hamilton going to be 11th, Joseph Turley in 12th as he goes side by side with Francis Hamilton. You can see him taking it up pretty high up there. We'll see how he rounds out there. Man, I just saw a driver. I'm pretty sure that's Nick Turana in that 10 machine up into the wall. He's got Luke Allen down below, Ryan Robertson in 15th, and Jordan McGraw still hanging in there, sitting 16th.
Yep, and Jordan, I mean, lucky to still be in it. I think it was Harmon who got into him. I'm not sure. I just saw Jordan get sideways early on in our, I guess you could call it a second stage to this All-Star race. I don't know if you want to call them stages with the current feeling of stages in NASCAR, but he did a great job to save the car. That might have been almost a better save than Harmon's, because so often we see a car get like 50, 60 degrees sideways in a corner, and it's just going to snap back the other way. But he did a great job to save it and not really lose that much time.
Yeah, he really did. He did not lose as much as I thought he was going to, but take a look at our leader. He's starting to gain a gap on these drivers. Just over half a second, and it's starting to close a little bit, but Brian Pizzikemi, he's starting to battle it out with Tristan Health, which is going to help that gap between him and Berg, which he doesn't want to see, but Berg is like, hey, battle it out. I want to get out of here.
That is the best thing that Joe Berg can see in his mirrors right now. He now, not that, as Tristan clears Brian off too. He wanted to see them fight for a little while longer, but I think Tristan a little bit better than him right now. Berg did a .34 on the last lap. Health was about a tenth slower. Brian was almost 2/10 slower. So we'll have to see if he's just trying to save his tires up to maybe make a run at the end of this race.
Yeah, it's just under a second, the gap for these guys. Oh, Joe, we lost connection with him, so hopefully he makes his back to the race. There we go. He's back. We got him back. But that's so scary when you see that happen, especially when they're doing so well out here. So Joe, hope your connection stays with us here, but yeah, that gap is just under a second. Brian Pizzikemi right behind him. These guys nose to tail, and take a look. Brody Folliker flying underneath Brian Pizzikemi. He's saying, it's time. I need to make some moves. I need to get up here, and he takes over that third spot.
He does. Let's see. Does he slide up in front of Brian? Yes, he does. Brian did not carry the momentum off of two that I thought he might. Good job by Brody to get up, make that pass, and now he switches lanes, goes to the high side. I think Brody's got desires on P2, and probably Berg if he can find a way around that 38 pretty quick.
Yeah, a lot of drivers are saying, I'm hearing different things from drivers, and of course they're going to want that clean air there, but 1 and 2, I'm hearing that you want to take the high side, and 3 and 4, use the whole track and dive it down to the inside. But it really depends, clean air, what the tires are looking like here. But that gap, Matt, is starting to close down between Joe Berg and Tristan Health. I say that and it raised back up, but man, they look like they were definitely closing it up, as it was just over half a second.
Indeed, and Brody Folliker, I think, is in that same situation that Tristan was just in against Brian, where I think Brody's a little bit faster. And if Brody can find a way around, a block from the 38, and Brody has to go high in turns 3 and 4, trying to clear him through the corner. The 38's going to do it. Brody's going to have a run if he can carry the momentum, but he can't, at least not yet. Tristan doing everything he can to try to hold on to that second, but now Brody is inside into 1.
On board with Brody Folliker right now, currently sitting third and switching positions between that and second, as he is side by side with Tristan Health. What an incredible battle out here. These guys just going at it. And again, that is going to help Joe Berg and the lead he has. If he can hold on to it, I'll tell you what, he will be ecstatic to get the All-Star win.
Any driver wants to win, but for Joe, this would be a really nice thing if he could pull it off. And in his mirrors, that's going to help. All this is doing back there for those two is it's helping. Joe's
man.
running.
Some hard contact into the wall. Sorry about that. Brian Pizzichimi made some contact. Austin Mitty was able to get around him, but yeah, that's definitely going to hurt Brian there.
Yeah, and I think Brian might have tried to get really aggressive early, and that really will hurt your tires. Now you've got the 42 trying to dive it under. Brody, slide job. He's got him. Will Health trying the crossover? Yes, he will. They're going to go side by side down the back, and this is just going to help Austin Mitty.
See how it plays out. These two still going at it, and Austin Mitty making his way up to the front. How about that? But he's going to have to make his way past these two and Joe Berg for another win tonight. We'll see if it can happen, but man, he's got quite a bit to go before he can get up there.
Absolutely, and just to show you the timing that's going on right now, Joe being in clear air, he's not running the fastest, but being in that clear air all by himself with nobody to slow him down. 30.6 on the last lap, where Brody was about a couple times slower, but Tristan Health was almost a tenth slower. They get side by side like this, all that it's going to do is help Joe Berg pull away and get a gap for when somebody finally clears, which I think Brody does into turn one.
Field has really started to separate. We have I would say about 6 cars up here. You can see him right behind Joe Berg, but Nick Turana, he is now down 1 lap. Not exactly sure what happened with him, but he sits 16th with Francis Hamilton 15th, and Jordan McGraw going to be 14th currently.
Yeah, and Joe's Francis must have hurt his tires or had an issue himself, because remember, Jordan got a little bit of contact that sent him sideways, and he fell a few seconds back. So for him to be back up past him, like, Francis must have really burned his tires off or had a problem.
Yeah. Man, Ryan Robertson really hitting that wall.
A lot of drivers, I think, are going to start doing that with 10 to go. You're now going to really start to leave it all on the line to try to do it. I think Fortson Poston, that's him behind Andrew Sanford, just hit the wall again. I've seen him do it a couple times off turn 4.
Take a look. Austin Mitty in second. Joe Berg still holding out in the lead with 9 to go. The race is coming to an end here. Brody Bolliker in third. Tristan Health fourth. And Brian Pizzichimi battling it out with Andrew Sanford. That is going to be for fifth.
And looking at the timing again, Berg at the line this time, a .715. Austin Mitty was actually a little bit slower that time. The lap before, Austin was about a tenth quicker. So over the last few laps, he's gained a little bit on aggregate time. He's gaining on him. The question is he just going to be able to gain enough to get to Joe and put him in a spot that could give him a win?
Austin Mitty's proven that he is able to save those tires, so can he save enough for the final part of this race? You can see he's slowly chopping away at that gap that is between him and Joe Berg, but only 7 laps to go. Is it going to be enough? He should be able to get more of that draft and use that to help and for his advantage. However, he's got to make sure he's got that clean air so he can use that car in turn.
Absolutely he does. He gained about a tenth and a half on that last lap through. If he keeps that pace up, he'll get there. But he and Berg are like, Berg doesn't even show a time this last time through, but I think Austin gained just a little bit on that last lap. I think if you're Brody, I think you might realize that, okay, like the only way either of us is going to get there, or that even I have a chance right now, is I got to just try to run in tow and help him catch him. Because that's the best way to do it. If you like realize, like, because 2 cars are going to go quicker than 1. If you're the leader running by yourself, you want that. But if 2 cars link up behind you, even for a few moments at Charlotte, to like get a push down the back or just run in a 2-car tandem, they're gonna go quicker, and they're starting to catch a little bit more.
Yeah, just under half a second here. Man, it is gonna be so down to the wire here. Coming up, 4 laps to go. It is just going to be very, very tight. Brody, we'll see how long he's going to work with Austin Mitty. I mean, yeah, you got to work with him to get up to Joe Berg, but at some point you're going to call it and say, I want to get that second spot just because this is a fun race. There's nothing to lose. I'm going for it.
100%. I mean, you definitely do, but
Here he goes.
like he's looking low, but just
Unable.
he's not quite there. I mean, and if Berg, like, we don't want that, but if Berg did blink out, then I could very easily see Brody immediately turning the wick back up to 11 and trying to get Austin, because suddenly that's for the win. But right now, they were
hard
nearly
hit.
Brody.
Yeah, hard hit into the wall, and that's definitely going to hurt him a little bit.
And that'll help Tristan Health behind, maybe try to get third back. I think Berg's starting to try to. It's not quite mirror driving. I wouldn't say that. I'd say that when you're down within like a couple, like 2 car lengths. But he's starting to trying to adjust his line to wherever Mitty is, just trying to put some dirty air on the nose. Last lap, Mitty was about, they were nearly even, but Mitty was just a tick quicker. But I think he's going to run out of time. He's got to find something this last lap and a quarter.
Man, we're coming up on the white flag here. Joe Berg, is he going to be able to hold off Austin Mitty? Or will Austin Mitty sweep Charlotte tonight in the All-Star race? We're going to find out. This is the final lap here, but Joe Berg looking for his first win in SnB out here. Brody Folliker in third, Austin Mitty in second. It is just so incredibly close.
Yeah, and Joe weaving down the back straightaway, trying to break the draft. They're side by side behind them for third. Mitty took a shot into turn 4, but he's going to run out of time. Joe Berg brings it to the flag and wins the All-Star race.
Yeah, Joe Berg, your All-Star winner. Austin Mitty, so incredibly close. What a fantastic race for him. He gets P2. A little nod there. Brody Folliker going to finish out third. Tristan Health fourth. Brian Pizzicchini fifth. Andrew Sanford sixth. Fortson Poston seventh. Thomas Harmon eighth. Made a good comeback from that. Jimmy Cocker ninth. And Luke Allen rounding out your top 10.
Indeed. That was a great recovery from Harmon. Tom Flitcroft, the birthday boy, unfortunately comes home in 11th. Ryan Robertson is 12th. Joe Turley 13th. Francis Hamilton 14th. Jordan McGraw finishes 15th, and the only car off the lead lap was Nick Turana in 16th. Brody by 1/1000th got that P3.
Yeah, that's crazy. Steve, I see out there, so funny. He says, Austin got this. My bad. I meant Joe got this. Kirk, what's up? Let's look at Joe Berg celebrating out here for the All-Star race. He is your All-Star winner. He started third, made his way up to first, did a fantastic job. So we're going to have to get these guys in the chat. But man, what a great race for these drivers. A lot of fun to watch. They did a fantastic job.
For sure. A great job all around. And when Joe got out front, that was just masterclass of driving. He got away, but was able to keep the tires on his Chevy and just balanced it perfectly. By the time like Mitty got through, Mitty was catching, but I think Mitty needed another few laps.
We got Joe Berg here celebrating. What a fantastic race for him tonight. You can see teammates out there celebrating with him. Joe, man, oh man, what a run.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Take us through your race. How did you get out front? How did you keep that lead?
I knew it was going to come down to the pit stop because I was not going to be able to catch Tristan in that first stage. And luckily, I was able to get out in front. Then it was just matching the tires, push when they get close, block where you can, and save where you can. I was out of tires at the end. I thought Mitty was going to get me, but a lot of fun there.
Very, very close. What is the most important thing here at Charlotte? Is the clean air? Is it how you drive it? What is it for you?
It's just finding the clean air. Like, even running second, if you put it in the other lane that the guy in front of you is not in, it's not the same as being the first car in line. So,
well, you are the big winner here at the All-Star race. Is this your first SnB win, or do we have another one out there?
This is number 2 in the exhibition category.
I
We
know
went Daytona in the Gen 4 car. No points payers yet, but we'll get
we're
there.
getting there. We're getting there.
We'll get there. I'm liking this one for next week, so we'll see what happens.
There we go. I love it. What a fantastic race for you. So fun watching. Any fun battles you want to call out there that you had tonight?
Man, Brian gave me a run for my money there at the beginning of the second stage. I thought he was going to get me a couple of times, but thankfully I was able to keep it in front, and his tires ended up dying out.
All right. And anything you learned for next week? Because we're going to be headed back to Charlotte next week.
I did. I'm going to keep that one to myself, though.
Fair enough. I figured that was coming, but I thought I'd ask. All right. Congratulations to you, all-star winner right here, Joe Berg.
Thank you.
All right, Matt, we got Austin Mitty coming out in second here in the main. So incredibly close.
Indeed. Austin, get to talk to you again tonight. A phenomenal job from you going from the tail of the field where you had to start because of your open victory all the way to within a few tenths of the win. What did you need to maybe catch the 93 of Joe Berg?
Just a few of my laps, probably. I was really saving my tires the whole second run, so a lot of people burn them up. And, in dirty air, you let them burn them up, then toss them up a little bit, pass them on.
You look like you were having a pretty good time getting through there as well. A number of really nice battles. Was there one that you like? Were there a couple that you liked as you made your way up through the field?
Yeah, when me and Brody on the outside and Tristan was on the inside, because there's like 10 to go. I was trying to get me and Brody working, getting through. That was fun for a minute. I don't know if I got into Tristan or not. I don't think I did. Well, we made contact, but yeah, that was fun. Other than that,
it looked like as well you were gaining a little bit on Joe. It was like you were gaining, and you would get like a lap or two where you would get a few tenths, but you would like another lap where you would be just a little bit slower. Is there anything you can take from like tonight's race going back to here next week, because we do come back for our next race?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it'd be cool to compete again. I like it's fun to be able to compete up front and not be sitting 20th, like I said before. But I mean, maybe Charlotte's my track. We'll see. Maybe next week we can get a meaningful win, which would be pretty dope.
All right, Austin. Well, congratulations on the good run again, and we will see you next week. Hope to maybe talk to you again.
Appreciate it.
All right, and third place by 1/1000th in a photo finish at the line against Tristan Helf. We have Brody Folliker up in the booth.
Yeah, Brody started 5th, finished out 3rd in a picture finish there against Tristan. How did your race go, and what was the funnest part for you?
Yeah, that starting spot and finishing spot definitely don't tell the whole story. I was horrible in that first run. But I took a really big swing with the brake bias and changed up my driving style, and it really helped. I got a good jump on the restart. I think they stacked up in front of me. I just took them 3 wide to the top, and then after that, it was really easy to find clean air. No one was really side by side in front of me, and I just I kept moving forward. I'll tell you what, like, I was not expecting to climb all the way back up here. I just wanted to finish a little bit better than where I started that second part of the race. But man, we were flying for a little bit. I was thinking for a second we might have something for Joe, but as soon as my car, started to, I guess pace Joe, here comes the 77 right behind me, and I'm like, ooh. Better get out of that guy's way. And I tried to follow him up there, and I was gonna set him up, to try to get by both of them at the same time, but we never got there. And then Tristan came back. He cooled his tires off, and gave me a run for my money right at the end. That was a fun battle with Tristan.
It looked like an incredible battle, multiple of those throughout the race. But man, P3 is awesome. Do you think we can get a win here next week?
Honestly, win's not even in the picture. I have a horrible finishing like percentage at Charlotte. Like I think the only SMB Charlotte race that I've finished was in the Xfinity cars. That's the only one. I've crashed out of every single other Charlotte race, and most of them are my fault. So I'm just hoping to really just finish this race.
Well, yeah, let's turn this around then next week. I mean, you had a great showing tonight, so I think we can do it again next week. All right, Matt. Tonight, it was a fun time. A new all-star winner here. It's going to be Joe Berg. A fantastic race for him. Shows what these guys can do for next week because we're going to be heading here again at Charlotte. What do you think about it for next week?
Man, if we get the same sort of racing that we did tonight next week, I think we're going to be in for one heck of a show, especially because now like we're going to have a slightly larger field and now it's going to be points on the line. So guys are going to have a bit of an extra incentive to go for it. This should be fun.
I agree. Well, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. It was a lot of fun. We'll be back next week. This was the All-Star race tonight. Joe Berg is our winner. Next week is going to be another points race, and it is right here again. We'll be back online 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll see you next time.
Take care.